The rain poured softly that evening, painting the city in silver tears as Ryan stood outside the cafe, his heart pounding harder than the storm above him. His eyes darted to the woman sitting alone by the window, a stranger, yet his only hope. Her name was Lily. She looked gentle, lost in her thoughts, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly. Ryan took a deep breath, stepped inside, and walked up to her table. "Excuse me," he began, his voice trembling. "I know this sounds strange, but can you pretend to be my wife for 1 week?" Lily looked up, startled. "I'm sorry, what?" she asked, her eyebrows knitting in confusion. Ryan's eyes glistened with desperation. "Please, my daughter, Emily, she's turning 7 tomorrow. She's been in the hospital for months fighting leukemia. Her only wish was to celebrate her birthday with her mom and dad together, but her mother passed away last year. I've been telling her stories, that her mom's away on work, that she'll come home soon, and now she wants her to be there." His voice cracked as he finished. Lily sat still, her heart tightening at his words. "Why me?" she whispered. Ryan smiled faintly, almost apologetically. "You look like her." "And I didn't know who else to ask. I'm sorry, this must sound insane." Lily stared at him, speechless. She had just moved to the city, carrying her own silent grief. Her husband, a soldier, had died 2 years ago, leaving her alone and hollow. She had sworn to never get emotionally involved again. But as she looked into Ryan's pleading eyes, something deep inside her stirred, the part of her that still believed in kindness, in humanity. After a long pause, she sighed softly. "All right," she said, "I'll do it." The next morning, Ryan drove her to the hospital. Emily's room was decorated with balloons and a small cake waiting on the table. The little girl's face lit up as they entered. "Mommy!" she cried, her frail arms opening wide. Lily froze for a second, her heart breaking into 1,000 pieces, then knelt down and embraced the child tightly. "Happy birthday, sweetheart," she whispered, her voice trembling. For that moment, the pain of the world disappeared. The room was filled with laughter, love, and the fragile warmth of a dream being fulfilled. Ryan watched them quietly from the corner, tears welling in his eyes. For the next few days, Lily stayed by Emily's side, reading bedtime stories, painting together, making paper crowns, and singing lullabies that once belonged to her own past. Emily would smile wider every day, her cheeks glowing with life again. Ryan couldn't believe how naturally Lily had fit into their world. Sometimes, late at night, he'd find her sitting by Emily's bed, brushing her hair gently, humming softly. "You're doing more for her than anyone ever could," he whispered one night. Lily smiled faintly. "She's doing more for me," she replied. On the 4th day, Emily drew a picture, 3 stick figures holding hands under a rainbow. She showed it proudly to her father. "That's us," she said. "And now Mommy's home forever." Ryan froze, unable to respond. He didn't have the heart to tell her the truth, not when she looked that happy. But Lily's eyes filled with tears. That night when Emily slept, Lily spoke softly to Ryan. "You'll have to tell her soon," she said, her voice heavy. "She deserves to know." Ryan nodded weakly. "I know. I just wanted her to smile again, at least once before." He stopped mid-sentence. Lily looked at him, concerned. Ryan swallowed hard. "Doctors said she might not make it past next month." The words hit Lily like thunder. She turned her face away, trying to hide her tears. "Then," she whispered, "let's make every day count." And they did. Over the next few days, they created memories that felt like a lifetime. Picnics in the hospital garden, puppet shows, bedtime, talks about stars and angels. Lily and Ryan grew closer too, not out of romance, but out of shared pain and the strange beauty of healing together. One evening, Emily asked a question that made both of them freeze. "Mommy, will you promise to stay even if I go to heaven?" Lily's heart stopped. She held Emily's tiny hand and said softly, "Sweetheart, even if you go to heaven, I'll still be there. You'll see me in the stars, in the wind, in every rainbow you draw." Emily smiled peacefully. "Then I'm not scared anymore," she whispered, closing her eyes. The week passed, and Emily's health began to fade. On the 7th day, her little heart couldn't fight anymore. Ryan and Lily were by her side, holding her hands as she whispered, "I love you both." Then, with a faint smile, she took her last breath. The room fell silent, except for the sound of their tears. Ryan broke down, clutching his daughter's hand, his world collapsing. Lily stood still, trembling, feeling a pain that was too deep for words. She knelt beside Emily and kissed her forehead. "You were an angel all along," she whispered. Days turned into weeks. The house felt emptier than ever. Ryan buried himself in silence, while Lily quietly packed her things to leave. Before she walked out, Ryan stopped her. "You gave her happiness I couldn't give," he said softly, "and you reminded me what love still means." Lily smiled through her tears. "She gave that to both of us," she replied. As she walked away, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden glow across the sky, and in that light, Ryan swore he saw Emily's rainbow. A few months later, Ryan started volunteering at the same hospital, bringing toys and stories to other children. One afternoon, he found a letter in Emily's old sketchbook. It was in Lily's handwriting. "Dear Ryan, I came into your life to pretend for 1 week, but your daughter taught me something real. That love doesn't need blood. And family isn't always who we're born with. It's who we choose to care for. Keep sharing her light." Ryan smiled as he looked up at the sky. Somewhere he believed both Lily and Emily were smiling too, one in the heavens, one in the hearts of every child she helped. And from that day on, he made it his life's mission to spread kindness wherever he went, not because he owed it to anyone, but because he knew now that sometimes even a stranger can become the miracle someone prays for. Moral: in a world that often feels cold and distant, one act of compassion can rewrite someone's story. Sometimes, pretending to love becomes the truest love of all.